That's my mother name.
What's up guys, KW175 back with another Pokemon Duel video, and this is the Uncommon Haul guys. And before you click off, we actually have a pretty interesting deck to showcase, inspired by the one and only Kahenkio, the Henki. If you guys don't know who Kahenkio is, definitely check out his channel. I'm going to link a few of his videos in the description below. Check him out, because he put together this insane deck. I believe he had 3 Beldum, 2 Togedemaru, and an Aron. So it's a steel energy deck with the Metal Sphere, and I wanted to try out the Mareanie. So that's why I added Mareanie in here, because it's going to give a -10 to all Pokemon that are not steel types or poison types. So these Stuffle that are just like overpowered, being able to hit for 140 damage basically, it's going to be a pretty nice counter. And Kahenkio was using it to counter the why can't I think of it? The tentacles. The tentacles, yeah. Because, you know, people running 6 of those, they can get pretty powerful. And then if they're poisoning you, they're even more powerful. So with the steel energy, the steel types are not going to be able to get poisoned. Now bear with me guys, this is the first time that I'm really trying this loadout. I've tried a different combination of the Togedemaru with the Beldum like once or twice. But I definitely wanted to try out the Mareanie because of being able to give that -10, and it's a pretty cool looking Pokemon. So I definitely don't like how I initially set up. You know, it's going to take me a few times. I should probably watch Kahenkio's video again, because he's definitely the master, you know, at this deck and setup. You know, he's the one that crafted it, so he understands how to set up and use it a lot better than me. Again guys, I'm going to link those videos in the description. Go and check them out, you know, and if you like what you see, and I think you will, throw a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and you know, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. You know, I watch every video that he uploads, so, you know, really good guy, great at crafting new and unique decks, and playing very well, so definitely enjoy his channel. So I'm trying to see how I can knock out these Stuffle, right? No problem whenever we're getting a +20 from the Metal Sphere and the Steel Energy together, and that Mareanie is definitely helping out with that -10. Now we do get sent to the bench because of the Wave Arms on this Stuffle, but as you can see, our Togedemaru even was able to knock it out. Imagine the Beldum getting all the same buffs, plus a +50 when it's next to the Togedemaru. Now our Aron is set to evolve into the Lairon, and you know, the Metal Sphere is going to stay in effect on that Pokemon no matter if it's sent to the bench, if it evolves, it doesn't matter. And if they have other steel types, our Aron is going to basically take a big bite out of it and knock it out no matter how powerful it is. So this deck could definitely be weak to a deck that's running an Aron. So, but, you know, I can just put my Aron or my Mareanie up next to it. Now, I move over with the Mareanie here. I'm backed into a corner, guys. Not really sure how I'm going to get out of this. Now, we do paralyze that Vibrava. I don't have a Gold Block. He has a Hurdle Jump. I'm going to move over. I still have Hurdle Jump. And I'm in a pretty bad spot, guys. You know, again, I didn't really like how I initially set up. And I don't know. I think I could have set up better. I think I could have made a few better plays, but you know, I would have liked to have at least got a few more neutral turns. Now right here, I think this is where it's kind of like the final nail in the coffin. Right here, okay? I just attack, because I have the buff, but we hit dodge, and we could have knocked out that Vibrava, but then he's just going to go back and surround my Mareanie, so I should have definitely backed up, or attacked, or did something with the Mareanie. So now I need to go after this Zangoose, and we do get the knockout. So I'm like, okay, awesome. We got an entry point open, right? Wrong. He's got a swap spot. Great play. I've already exhausted my X attack, so I do need to try to get this knockout. Not gonna happen. And that's gonna be GG, boys. Nothing I can do. He's threatening goal with both his Rowlet and the Pancham, so GG to Diego. Definitely put us in our place. Again, I think I set up poorly. I didn't play as well as I could have, and you know, a few spins just didn't go my way, but You know, you got to prepare for the bad RNG, guys. You're not going to win every matchup, even if you feel like you have a 90% chance of winning it. There's a good chance that it's going to go neutral, or you're going to lose it just to, you know, just to the odds. So we are going to go up against Lupin. So as you can see, Lupin's got the Mawile, which is a steel type. So I put my Aron out there. I don't know. I have a couple of chain levels on it. You know, it's not too bad against the Vibrava. And I wanted to be defensive with my Mareanie. But again, I'm not really liking how I'm set up right now. You know, I'm not able to get my Togedemaru next to that Beldum. I already have an entry point that's covered up. Now, I could get my Aron over there to attack that Mawile, and I'm kind of hoping that he brings it down. But he doesn't. So I'm like, okay. So now I have my Togedemaru that's out, really basically able to be attacked at any point. But I want to try to get this other Beldum up on the corner in the center there. And then try to get a Togedemaru up in the center so it can buff them both. But it comes down, now see, that's just RNG. You know, feels pretty bad. Like that was really, really lucky, really fortunate. So I am going to take this opportunity to put my Beldum right there, and I'm going to move up one. Hopefully, you know, we have a decent chance of surviving, maybe hitting dodge, or him just straight out missing. Again, RNG is insane. Now we are getting the buff, so he has 0 chance of beating us right here. And see, we get a 90, just insane. So I am going to take the entry point. Now, that Beldum is definitely at risk of getting knocked out by that Mawile, but it's a pretty risky attack if he wants to come after me, you know, and if RNG, you know, if he loses that, then we're just going to straight out win, so I definitely don't think he should attack just yet, and he just forfeits, so Kahenkio deck strats, OP, he didn't want to deal with it, but I just don't think people understand how these buffs actually work. They're like, what? Well, where is this buff coming from? Well, wait a minute. Why is he getting plus 50? Wait a minute. Why is he getting a plus 70? Like, they just don't get it. So, you know, if they think that you're going to get that buff no matter what, then it's overwhelming and it's overpowered. So we have Richard. Richard sees the deck and he's like, peace out. I'm not even dealing with this. So, like, free win, right? I mean, if you could run a deck that just makes people shudder in fear and they just straight up forfeit, like, run it. So this is going to be our next opponent, and I'm not even sure, the Sibu boy, I don't know how to even pronounce that, but this is going to be our final opponent, and let's just see how this one turns out. So he is going to get the knockout, unfortunately. You know, I chose not to go with Steel Energy on the first turn just because, you know, he does have double hurdle jump. Now, I take a pretty big risk here, and we do get the knockout. You know, if I would have lost that would have been game. So, I don't know, probably not a smart play. But again, he's got the double hurdle jump. You know, odds were that he was going to come after me anyway. So, in turn, I probably would have had to have attacked anyway. But now we're set up. We were able to use the X attack. Now we have the Togedemaru that's buffing our Beldum, though it's not going to matter against the Aron. And I'm definitely going to come after this Poplio. And we hit dodge. I'm like, come on. You know, I'm not really worried about getting put to sleep because, I don't know. I mean, we could wake it up with our other Beldum if we had to. So I'm going to go there with the Togedemaru. I don't want him to be able to come up and just freely attack. And he is going to come down and attack me with his little Gothita. Or Gothita. I'm going to go defensive with the Mareanie. I do want to get the Mareanie on the goal, so that way I can attack with the Beldum. And then I can wake it up with the Togedemaru if I need to without moving my other Beldum. And then yeah, not lose to the Poplio threatening game. So I do go with the hurdle jump. Pretty risky. Maybe a waste of a hurdle jump. I don't know. Let's see. We get knocked out. So we burn our hurdle jump. We get knocked out anyway. So I'm going to come out and attack with my Aron. Unfortunately, we hit Protect, which kind of sucks. It does. But, you know, hey. Kind of hoping that he hits his tackle, and then we can hit the big bite, knock him out without us getting knocked out. And I definitely need to, you know, get my plates played. Now, we hit a clutch dodge there, but at the same time, we could have knocked him out. So, I don't know. I guess I'd rather have the safe play, but, you know, we're able to play the plates. And then he just hurdle jumps and takes out our Togedemaru. So, like, I don't know, man. That Aron is pretty scary for most of my team, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Like, get rid of your Aron, that's fine. Our Togedemaru wasn't doing anything anyway. So, my plan is to move my Togedemaru up next to my Beldum, and, you know, it's going to have that buff against that chest spin. But, you know, I don't want him to come in and knock out my Mareanie either, because that's going to be really bad, and that's going to cause me to lose the game. And we can beat that Poplio without the buff, and he doesn't move up with his chest pin. So, like, that's pretty fortunate. And then we do get a knockout there, and we get our Lairon. We get our Lairon, so now I am going to play the Metal Sphere. So now our Beldum is going to be able to hit for 100 damage while next to our Togedemaru. That Rowlet is going to have to get pretty lucky to knock us out. And we do knock out that Poplio, which I'm pretty happy about. So, all things considered, I feel like our setup is pretty decent. Our Beldum is at risk at getting knocked out from that chest pin, and he can get the evolution. My Lairon should be able to hold its own. We're going to hit another Protect. That's okay. That's okay. But he does have his Aron back, which kind of sucks. But he's just going to back up his Rowlet. So I am going to move up with my Togedemaru at this point, because if he moves up with that chest pin, I want to be able to get a knockout. And he gets the lucky spin where we hit the Protect. And we have a miss because of its ability to turn any blue attack into a miss. So now I'm trying to get my Beldum in a position that I can buff it and then attack that chest pin. And we get another lucky spin. So we're able to defend. Now, the only problem I've been noticing with this deck, and that's why I run Hurdle Jump instead of a Gold Block, because we do have a lot of runners, and I don't know, I just don't really find it easy to advance with this deck. You know, because the Beldum become very weak when not next to a Togedemaru. And, you know, I'm trying to keep him next to it so it can have that buff. And even if that Gotharita moves up and takes the entry point, and she's getting that buff, like, even with a double spin, because of the Mareanie, we are able to go neutral. And gets another double slap. 4 spins in a row. And it's like, if we would have our Lairon out, then we'd be able to get the knockout, but you know, it's okay. Like, right now, we're able to pretty much knock out any of these Pokemon, so I definitely want to get rid of that Poplio, because I could definitely see our opponent moving in, going after our Mareanie, because we do have a sizable purple. And they're just going to come in and YOLO. Gets the double slap. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I don't have a Gold Block. I'm going to have to attack. So now I'm trying to figure out what's my best odds. Now, if they hit another double slap, like, I'm pretty much screwed. So I don't know if I should go with the Togedemaru. I mean, I could hit that 50. You know, the Beldum is still getting a +10. It's poisoned, so I'm just going to go for it with the Beldum. And she hits a miss. I'm like, whew, let's go. Like, man, that was really lucky. Like, we almost lost. Almost lost to the YOLO. And, like, Mareanie, man, always, like, you come on, like, hit your purple. You got that spike cannon that can just spin and do some insane damage, even though it's not very likely to spin even twice in a row. I mean, I can't even hit it once. But, I'm going to take our entry point. So now I need to try to set up again, get some defense. Need to get my setup back. definitely want to get my setup back. So I'm going to go after this Rowlet, because we are getting a buff from the Steel Energy, and we have the Metal Sphere back onto the field with the Lairon. So that was pretty nice. Now we have our Togedemaru next to the Beldum. So now we're getting a nice buff. We're hitting for 100 damage, and it's the Protect, so that's pretty nice. I'm going to go after this Chespin, or the Quilladin, and boom, there we go. We get the knockout. So it's got to be a little bit frustrating at this point. Like, he's had us in some pretty tough situations. We've got that clutch, lucky spin to save the match so we didn't lose. But that Aron is just going to take out our Togedemaru. So there goes our plus 50. So that kind of sucks. So I'm just going to move over one toward my goal. Now I'm going to bring out the Mareanie. Now that Poplio is pretty scary. I mean, we have a decent chance of winning if we hit the Spike Cannon. And we just can't get it done. Like, that Mareanie just has been kind of sucking, to be honest. So I am going to move over here. I want him to consider taking that entry point. Okay, so he decides to do, I'm like, all right, I'm going to threaten game. Yeah, you can cover up with the Pancham. You don't have Gold Block, and we still have X Speed. So with the X Speed, we're getting a plus 20. So all we got to do is just hit this. Please don't dodge. And then he hits the arm thrust one time. I was kind of hoping that he would hit that parting shot, but we get pretty lucky. You know, we had decent odds there. We definitely had decent odds. So now he's going to have to come out with the Gotharita. Hopefully we can hit dodge, but we don't. But it only hits a single double slap. She could have hit the 60, would have knocked us out. So we get pretty lucky. We have a pretty nice comeback. So GG to our opponent. And, you know, this deck is pretty strong. So shout out again to Kahenkio for coming up with this deck. It's not exact. It's not the same exact deck that he runs. Maybe his is probably better, but I definitely need to figure out how to be more offensive with it so I can put pressure on the opponent. But I am going to open up a single booster ticket, guys, to end the video off. Let's just see what I get. Hopefully Tia will give us that Buzzwole, because I still want one. I don't think I want it bad enough to craft it, though. But we're just going to get a Krogunk. So, you know, not too bad, I guess. But that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Check the description for other videos and a link to Kahenkio's video. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. And until the next one, later, guys.